All right, can everybody hear me just fine? If you can't hear me, go ahead and type that into the chat box and let me know. I want to make sure everybody can hear me during this entire presentation. So I know Judy, looks like you said your audio stopped. Okay, awesome. Well, that's great. So glad you guys could make it. I'm going to be going over kind of a introduction for Google Chromebooks today. Not anything too in-depth and detailed, but just kind of an overview. So here we go. My name is Levi Olette with CLH International. I'm a technology specialist and inside sales guy. I've been with CLH for a while now. I've worked in the tech industry for probably at least 10 years. So I enjoy it. Technology is awesome. And we also got Howard Cho, who's my sales engineer. He's going to be working on the chat box. So if you do happen to come up with any questions during the presentation, go ahead and type the question in there. Howard will try to get the question answered for you in a timely fashion. So, all right, so here we go. All right, so what is a Chromebook? You may have been hearing about Chromebooks, been seeing them on TV and Google, and maybe there's other schools nearby that you've seen implementing the Chromebooks. And you're probably curious as to what they are, what they do, how they work, that kind of thing. So you may have heard a lot of schools doing the one-to-one initiative, and they've been using Google Chromebooks to fulfill that, getting devices into each student's hands. So a Chromebook is basically a different breed of computer system that runs on Google's Chrome operating system. Just like Windows has, or like Windows is on Dell, HP, Lenovo, those types of machines, and Mac has OS X, Google came up with their own operating system, developed it, put it on their own system. So and I missed a slide. All right, here we have a selection of different Chromebooks that CLH offers. They've all been built to be, made for schools, essentially. So if you're looking for, say, a device that's rugged or that can take a beating in the classroom by students, you have the Lenovo N21 Chromebook here, which is a great device. Has a reinforced hinges, has a keyboard that students can't rip the keys off, and you can kind of knock it around, drop it off of a desktop, and it'll work just fine. We also have a Chromebook 3, which is another one of the lower end Chromebooks. Has a Samsung processor, which isn't quite as fast as the Intel processor that the Lenovo has, but still runs great. Lightweight, 11.6-inch screen, just like the Lenovo. And when we go to we have the Dell Chromebook, which is also rugged and small in size with the 11.6-inch screen. Has a little bit smaller keyboard than some of the other Chromebooks, but that'd probably be ideal for younger students that have small fingers, that kind of thing. But it does take up a little bit. It does take up a little bit more space than your average 11.6-inch Chromebook, so it may not be the perfect thing that you want. We also have the Samsung Chromebook 2, which is one of Samsung's newer Chromebooks that features an Intel processor, has an aluminum reinforced case, also making it fairly tough for the classroom. Say you want to go with something a little bit bigger, a little faster, maybe an HD display. You can choose between these last three that I have listed here: Toshiba Chromebook 2, HP Chromebook 14, and the Acer Chromebook C910. The Toshiba Chromebook has a 13.3-inch screen and has a battery life of about 11 hours. So it's one of the Chromebooks that has a longer battery life than the rest of these. And the Acer in particular, that's probably one of the biggest Chromebooks that's available on the market. It's a 15.6-inch screen, and it comes with a bigger hard drive, more memory, making it probably one of the faster devices that's available for the Chromebook market. That being said, being bigger, it may be a little heavier, so maybe more suited for teachers, staff, faculty, something like that. So, let's see here. All right, so another great thing about the Google Chromebooks is that it comes with what's called the Chrome OS Management Console. It's basically the way that you can centrally manage all the Chromebook devices that are implemented or deployed throughout your school system. License cost we offer the license for $28.88. This picture here is just kind of a snapshot of what is in the Chrome OS Management Console. You can actually manage users, configure network access, and you can even pre-install or block certain apps. That way, say there's a certain app that you want all your students to have, you can have that app pre-installed, push it out, and when everybody gets on the machine, it has access to that app. There's also a cool feature that Chromebooks have, which is a kiosk mode that allows every device to be set up to look the same and have limited access to apps and internet. Say, maybe if you're going to use it in a computer lab where there's a ton of students using the same devices all the time, or maybe if you are going to do some testing on using the Chromebook. Obviously, when you do testing for schools, there's a lot of sites and a lot of restrictions and things that you have to put on the computer so students aren't able to cheat or get distracted when they're doing the tests. So the management console is one of the really, really great feature about this Chromebook system. And what can Chromebooks do? They can pretty much do anything that they can do from the internet. So the Chromebooks have access to all of these tools that are available from Google. So you can do things like send an email, get on a chat, and maybe chat with your classmates or your teachers. Say a couple students are trying to collaborate or work together on a certain assignment, they can get on the Google Hangout, talk to each other, and get things done faster. So these tools basically allow you to collaborate and get things done faster, all while using the power of the cloud. So you don't have to have all this extra hardware and extra licensing and programs and stuff like that. So just about as simple as that. And there's also quite a few free apps that you can get from the App Store that are specific for education. So if you do get involved in the Google Chromebooks and start deploying those, you can take a look at what's available. And I mean, you actually be surprised. There are some very, very cool applications out there. So one of those applications is what I'm going to talk about next, and it's called Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is a new tool that Google created, I think, in the last year. It's part of the Google Apps for Education package. It helps teachers to create and organize assignments, provide feedback, and helps teachers communicate with all the students in their classroom. And by using this Google Classroom app, the teachers can create, assign, and collect students' classwork through this system. And no having to print out papers, no having to save files, all that type of stuff. Anything the student works on, it's saved in the cloud, Google Drive, and they can turn it in using the Google Classroom. So you're probably wondering, maybe why should I go with Chromebooks? What's the big deal? Why are they so great? Well, one of the main factors is that the price is right. Compared to a traditional Windows environment, it's about a third or half of the cost what you would normally have to spend. So, like it says here, average Chromebook prices for schools is around or less than $300. Management license is around $30. Obviously, my pricing is a little bit better than that on the license. So, these Chromebooks would basically save you money compared to a traditional environment. So, and let's see here. Okay. Chromebooks can also be deployed much faster than traditional environments. This picture right here is actually a picture that I took of a huge Chromebook deployment that we did last year around the same time during the summer. It's for a pretty good sized school district up in Yavapai County, and we deployed over, I think it was 2,500 Chromebooks. And we're basically able to set them up, get them all configured, added to the domain, so that when we delivered them to the customer, all they had to do was hand them out. Student can sign in, and they're good to go. It's one thing that Google has really done well is made these Chromebooks and the management and everything simple, which is great for us. So there's also another benefit about the Chromebooks compared to a normal traditional Windows environment. Chromebooks usually start up in about 8 seconds and have a battery life of about 8 hours. That being said, some Chromebooks, of course, do have a longer battery life, 10 or 11 hours. Just depends on the Chromebook that you're using. So they're made to be fast and efficient, and you don't have to sit there when you boot it up. You don't have to sit there and wait for all kinds of programs and processes to load and do all this stuff. Because as some of you may know, when you start up your Windows machine, when it's been shut off, it may take 15 minutes sometimes to get everything, running the way you want, and then you got to open all your applications and sign into a bunch of different things. So this is pretty simple right here. You log into the Chromebook, you have access to everything that's associated to your Google Chromebook account. So you don't have to log into a bunch of different things unless it's something outside of that Google Chrome environment. Another reason to choose Chromebooks is the security. They were designed with security in mind, so you can keep yourself safe from viruses and malware. Whenever a Chromebook starts up or boots up, it actually makes sure that the operating system on it hasn't been tampered with. So, meaning it makes sure there's nothing wrong with your computer system when it boots up. And of course, all the data that is in the Google Cloud is encrypted. So any of your files that you save to the Google Cloud, you don't have to worry about somebody getting access to them or trying to steal that information. It's all encrypted. Google apps are also run in a secure environment where they're isolated from the actual operating system. So you open a Google app, it's not going to have any effect on the Chromebook system itself. That way, it prevents a bad application or an infected application from causing problems with the main system of the Chromebook. Another great part of the security is that updates from Google are free. They download automatically when they're available, and they install when the device is restarted. So cuts down on time that IT guys have to spend, getting everything prepared and sending updates to everybody, making sure the updates are pushed out, and that everybody's good to go. And also, another part of this Chromebook security is that the IT, like whoever's administrating the Chromebook management console, can push out policy updates and app changes and things like that in a matter of seconds. Like, you can literally go into the management console, apply some new changes, they take effect almost instantly. So that's because of the power of the cloud. So essentially, all of these security features that Chromebooks have built into them, thanks to Google, are designed to protect students and keep them focused on classwork. Because we all know that students can get distracted, or they might go to some website that you don't want them to go to. And we don't need any of that. We need to keep students focused. We need to make sure they're learning and prepared for the real world. So, right, and another reason to choose Chromebooks is, like I said earlier in one of the other slides, is that it is easy to manage. It's a central management. You literally can have one person that logs into the Chrome OS management console and does all the management for every device that's registered under your domain. So they can literally manage thousands of devices. I mean, you could have 10,000 devices in a school management console. You can manage every single one of them. So that is something very cool that Google has done. It's just very helpful, and it also cuts down on the amount of IT staff you would possibly have to manage multiple devices and servers and all kinds of other stuff in the traditional Windows environment. So part of that central management is those Chrome management licenses. The licenses are perpetual for education, so that means you get a Chromebook, you buy a management license, you only pay for it that one time. You don't have to renew it again or pay for it continually year after year. It basically lasts for the entire life of the device. So say you keep that Chromebook around for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, the license is going to work just fine. So still going to be able to manage the device. All right, so just to kind of recap on some of the stuff I've been talking about, some of the overall benefits for Chromebooks in schools: they are low-cost devices, so they take it easy on your budgets. We know schools in the United States have limited budgets sometimes, or they get funding cut. It seems, we don't like that, but it happens. So, but what's great about the Chromebook is that it's usually cost-effective, so it won't take a hit on your budget or force you to spend a bunch of money. So the Chromebooks are also extremely fast. Like I said before, most of them start up in about 10 seconds or less. They run very efficiently. I mean, it's powered through the cloud, so just very, very fast. And there's hundreds of free apps available through the Chrome Web Store. Any kind of apps that you can think of, there's been somebody that's probably developed it. So it's a great great web store. There's tons of apps for education in there. Since Chromebooks have come out in the last few years, there's been a lot of people pushing specific apps for education and focusing those apps on education. So um, it's things have gotten better and better over the last few years. So, and of course, since this is something done by Google, Google has some amazing people that work on their technology and develop things like this. So, I mean, you can always expect excellent products and services that Google creates. So, I mean, we pretty much all use a Google search nowadays. So, they did something right. So, it's also easy for IT departments to manage. Um, they don't have to keep track of a bunch of different devices and do a bunch of imaging and all kinds of stuff like that. It's the central management, push out policy updates. I mean, it makes it really, really easy. So, um, and as I said before, automatic updates and built-in virus protection, meaning the Chromebook is always up to date. It's always ready to be used. It doesn't bleed viruses. So it's a safe device for students to use in the classroom. And then finally, you got a great battery life. You know, some Windows machines or Windows laptops, excuse me, will maybe have a 3-hour battery life sometimes if you're lucky. So, like I said in the previous slide, the battery life on most of these Chromebooks is about 8 hours or more. So, that allows the students to go throughout most of the day without having to keep plugging the device in or recharging it. You know, say they move to a different classroom, they don't have to go find a power plug and make sure the device is plugged in because it's not going to die on them. So, you're probably wondering who CLH is and why you should choose CLH. Well, we have great relationships with many schools. We've done business with schools for years and years. We also support the products that we sell very well. Anytime anybody purchases any kind of products or services from us, they're always very happy. We provide the support because that doesn't leave them hanging. Say, you know, somebody has a question about how to use something on the Chromebook or how to restart it or how to do this or that. Our support guys will actually walk you through stuff. You can call them during our regular business hours, and we will be more than happy to provide you with support. So, and we also provide white glove services, meaning we'll get all the devices set up for you, added to your Google Apps for Education domain, and you know, maybe if you need all the devices to have certain Wi-Fi passwords or just different settings, we can actually go ahead and set up a lot of that stuff for you. So you could essentially take the Chromebooks and hand them out to your students, your teachers. Everybody will be able to power them on, log in, and they'll be good to go. And another great reason to choose CLH is because we've been in business for 30 years. We've seen a lot of the technology, been involved in it. We've had a lot of experience in almost every facet of technology that you can possibly think of. So it's a great company, and our experience being 30 years, I mean, that's a lot of experience for any company to have, especially in the tech industry. So anything from small, components up to full networks or managed services, things like that. So we can pretty much do it all. Anything that you possibly want in the technology world. So, and as of right now, we do have a kind of a special promotion going on, which includes 30 of those Lenovo N21 Chromebooks, the management licenses, and a Bradford charging cart for $88.88. That's kind of a special package that we put together for schools. Schools seem to like that. I mean, it's a very good price point, great devices, and that charging cart is great for keeping the devices secure and locked away when students are done using them. So, also if you use the promo code Chromebooks Now, you can get yourself some free shipping on this order. So, the promotion does end June 30th, though. So, if you were to want to take advantage of that promotion, you'd have to do it fairly soon. So, all right. So, last but not least, is there any questions? Do we have any questions from anybody that's been participating in this webinar? You can go ahead and type your questions into the chat box, and we can get them answered for you. We will also be sending out the slides and our contact information to everybody. So if you want to just email us a question about Chromebooks, or you need more information about something specific on the Chromebooks, you can do that. So I don't think anybody has any questions, so that would be it. I'd like to thank all of you guys for participating in this webinar today and going over Chromebooks. I hope this information was very helpful and helping you choose to whether or not to go with Chromebooks. Okay, where can we find the link to the promo? I believe the promo should be on our website. In the emails that we're sending out after this presentation is done, it will have a link to that special promotion. So just be on the lookout for that email, and we will get that promo to you. So you're welcome. Any other questions from anybody else? Any and all questions answered? All right. Well, like I said again, thank you for spending time with CLH to go over some Chromebook information. I know many of you guys that work in the school systems have pretty busy schedules, so making time to participate in a webinar or learn about what Chromebooks are is, you have to make some time out of your day. So, and I understand that, and that's why I really appreciate that you guys were a part of this. So, once again, my name is, let me get back to the first slide here. 1 second. As you'll see here, I got my contact information here. And so if any of you guys need to contact me or have any questions about Chromebooks, you can call me or you can call Howard. We will get anything you need, any questions answered. If you need more information, we'll get it to you. All right. Well, that's it for this presentation. So hopefully we will see you guys again for another presentation. Thank you.